Good afternoon. Welcome in. Welcome back to another Wellness Wednesday. I'm Christy Gammon, your Doterra wellness advocate, and I'm so thrilled to be here with you post-convention for the first Wellness Wednesday in a series that I'm going to do. Just slowly rolling out all the new and good that we learned about over the weekend. But I want to start, you probably hear a little bit of a difference in my voice. And so I thought I would just lead out with talking about that post-convention lull that you can kind of find yourself in, and truly just a post-event lull maybe that would apply to any of us. And I didn't even go to convention in Utah. I went to convention on my couch this year, but over the past, I would say 2.5 weeks at most, I've had very significant events in my family, at my church, at the location where I have my office, my practice in Worthington, and then the convention itself. And so it was kind of a 2.5 weeks of just go and be strong and show up in a certain way. And throughout, I felt healthy and strong and equipped. And probably without knowing it, I was absorbing some stress, maybe from others, maybe holding on to some of my own, and just hanging out a little too much in that flight, fright, or freeze mode, which just turns up the stress in the body and releases those chemicals which let the body know that you're in a life or death situation and certain things need to shut down. And so I'm thinking over the course of those couple of weeks, I probably landed there more often than I was realizing. I have great practices built into my life where I'm regularly breathing deeply and breathing in the oils, resting, and doing all these wonderful things. But when there are a lot of different events, even just one big thing, let alone multiple, like I've just experienced, it is so natural when you come down from that high for the body to just exhale and realize, oh my gosh, okay, I've got a day or two where I don't have to show up like that. And so I'm just going to let it all out. And so I've got this little tickle, a little bit of a nagging cough, a little bit of aches in the neck and the shoulders and the low back. These are all pretty typical things for me. I get sinus issues this time of year, but I don't want to downplay it so much that a little thing then turns into a big thing. We definitely don't want to do that. So just being aware of what I just came through and knowing the kind of energy that I want to be bringing into the rest of this week and the weekend and the weeks ahead. We want to finish this year strong. I want to maximize this moment in time and just take extra good care of myself, really listen to what my body's telling me and respond with lots of things that are going to help boost my immune system and just show love to my body, to my mind, and to my spirit. And so hopefully none of these sounds new to anyone, but I thought I would just do a quick review of just a few of the things that I'm doing. I'm drinking all the liquids. I've got tea in front of me right now. I've got water right over there, just out of reach. I've been drinking fresh pressed juices, which are delicious and high in vitamin C. Been getting lots of rest. If I feel like I need to take a break and just sit in the chair for a few minutes or take a nap, then that's what's needed. That's what's best. So make sure you get extra rest and practice any of those self-care items that you know that you need. Make sure you're working in things that bring you joy. I opened up a puzzle last night to just sit and work on that when I have free time, because it brings me so much joy to do that. And We've done videos before about self-care and how that's maybe different from a spa day, so maybe doing an Epsom salt bath, maybe working in a Symphony of the Cells protocol, various things like that. I always have the diffusers going. So this is a little On Guard and Breathe right now, just bringing in respiratory as well as immune support. And just in general, being extra intentional about all the different healthy habits that we practice. And so you can always go back to your wellness pyramid and just look at those foundations of health. And is there anything that maybe was a little bit lacking? Now is not the time to miss a dose of our LLV. We just want to stay on top of everything. Even if we feel a little tired or run down, it's the last time that you want to compromise on any of those healthy habits. If anything, we want to kick them up a notch. And speaking of that, I have to share, I'm going to highlight 2 brand new products in this session, and one fits perfectly here. These are the OnGuard Plus chewable tablets, and they are just extraordinary. So in addition to OnGuard Plus, so we know that from the soft gels, this contains OnGuard Plus, black pepper, oregano, and melissa. Now, these have 4 additional extra special ingredients, including zinc, vitamin C, vitamin D3, and beta-glucan. And those 4 ingredients are particularly magical in this season of our lives, as we're really trying to boost those immune systems and prevent pretty significant seasonal and environmental threats. So the adult dose is to chew 3 of these a day. They're recommended with food. And I'll just open this up and show you what these look like. There they are. Just a flat little tab. And if anybody remembers certs, that's what I think of when I take these. And at convention, they recommend put it in your mouth and just suck on it for a moment or 2 and start to let it break down in your mouth so you can get a sense of that OnGuard flavor. It starts on kind of subtly, and then when you chew it, it softens it up a little bit. And then when you chew it, that OnGuard flavor really does come through, but not in an overpowering way whatsoever. It is very pleasant. And I have loved being able to add these to my regimen as soon as I received my convention kit. And so if you're not actively fighting something, you might just take 1. If maybe you're going out to a public place or a place where you just want to have some extra protection, it's a great tool to have in your arsenal. Now, there was a ton of science shared. We got a little nerdy with Alex DeBell in one of our breakout sessions on the way that Doterra sources each of those 4 new ingredients. And all of that really matters so that you're getting the formats of those 4 ingredients in the ways that our body can absorb and utilize best. So just trust me in this moment that it's going to deliver. And I'll come back with some more of those nerdy details in a later episode. But for today, I want to share, before I get into too many of the new products, because it does feel like you're at a fireworks display, that first day of convention, and they're announcing one new thing after another, and you hardly have a chance to celebrate and get excited about the thing that they just said. And then here comes another one and another one and another one. And so what I want to do is nothing is available for individual purchase until October 1st. So there's no reason for me to overwhelm you with tons of detail on, 20 different new things. So I don't want to do that to you. I want to start today by talking about how Doterra builds on a foundation of research. And it has been this commitment to research since day one. The way we partner with teaching hospitals and universities and scientists across the country, always advancing, always innovating, so that we have these tremendous product breakthroughs year after year. It's this foundation of research that enables us to produce and to have these second to none pure oils and products. And so I want to give you just a little, again, just a tip of the iceberg on what was shared. In about 2 weeks, we were promised that we are going to have digestible, packaged versions of this information, and I'll be really excited to share it that way when it's available. But in the meantime, I wanted to give you just a sneak peek of what was shared so it can start to whet your appetite and then kind of give you that basis for, okay, here's the foundation, and then it makes sense why all of these products would be coming and how they would build upon it. So we are able to now make the claim, and this is all because of published, peer-reviewed study. And the Doterra research model has evolved over the years, and in its latest version, it has 5 components. And over the past, I think, year or 2 years, Doterra has been working on just fine-tuning the research model. And so they just started with lavender and put that through the research process. And so in these studies on lavender, the first research project had to do with purity. And when lavender was studied in purity, we were able to make the conclusion that Doterra is pharmaceutical grade quality. Now, no other essential oil company is going to be able to say any of the things that I'm about to say to you. So that's number one. Doterra is pharmaceutical grade. And so if you have anyone in your life who has some skepticism or some hesitancy with regard to essential oils, this really does differentiate and separate Doterra's essential oils from the pack. And so hopefully, or maybe it's you, hopefully if anybody had any reservation about trying essential oils, this is going to start to speak to that and just open your eyes, open your mind, open your heart to something that could really, truly help you. The second part of the research model is consistency. And the conclusion of this research is that Doterra has cracked the code on consistency, which is a really big statement. I have another sentence that I can read to help support that. Doterra shows high quality results with multiple batches of oil over multiple years. And so that's where you can tell this particular lavender study has been going on for quite some time. We, as the essential oils go through our lab for testing, there are batches that are held back so that over the years things can be compared. And that's just our commitment to that very high level of quality. We want to know that we're able to make the claims that you read in your Modern Essentials book, or that you hear in a class, or when you receive a recommendation from a trusted wellness advocate. How can we, what do we base that on? It's this research, and it's not easy, but Doterra is able to do it. And so this actually is one of those situations where you can have your cake and eat it too, because one of the main reasons why we benefit from essential oils over time is that even if say our favorite oil ever is eucalyptus. And so we just use eucalyptus for everything, over and over using eucalyptus. Wouldn't our body build up a resistance to that because it's just getting used to the eucalyptus? And, over time, shouldn't I use lemon or cardamom or something else to make sure I'm really giving my body everything that it needs? Maybe. But at the same time, because we're extracting these oils in a pure manner from nature, they're always just a tiny bit different, because the slightest change in soil or weather or climate or what have you, nourishment, I mean, there's just so many different factors when it comes to growing a plant. You're always going to have just a tiny little bit of difference. And doTERRA just likes to monitor that and make sure it's always within a statistically significant margin, just a really, really low number, enough for us to benefit inside our bodies, but also enough for those key chemical constituents to remain the same. And this is another area where doTERRA then just becomes so far removed from anyone else out there who's trying to do essential oils, because the best any other company can do is try to isolate the compounds that are extracted with those essential oils and then try to recreate in a lab using synthetics. They start taking things out, they start putting things in, trying to hit the same numbers every single time. And that just doesn't work. And so, bottom line, doTERRA has cracked the code on consistency. So you get the best of both worlds, the pure essential oils, just as you would find them in nature, but bottled for your convenience and able to deliver consistent results that you can count on over time, even over years. The third big statement we're able to make, this is out of the research, the third phase of our research model, which is dosing. doTERRA's whole essential oils are absorbed better, 2 times more than synthetics. And so that was really exciting as well. There's so much comparison between, why would we take an essential oil when, we don't really know what that is? You get into some fear or some woo-woo and that kind of thing. And this study is meant to elevate our CPTG, certified pure, tested grade essential oils, into a category so that you know that what you're getting is the best that is available. So when you want to compare apples to apples, kind of hard to even say that, you can look at absorption, and your body is going to recognize and absorb that. That just means, so we talk about this concept with our LLB a lot. So as you have nutrition coming into the body, if it's something that the body can easily recognize and put to work, then it's going to categorize it, it's going to absorb it and get it to where it needs to go and keep everything moving. And so you notice when you're eating high quality food and taking high quality supplements that you just naturally have better energy, because your body's not having to slow down and try to figure out what you just gave it. If you eat a lot of processed foods or dairy or sugar, then you're going to naturally notice a decline in your energy because your body's going to be working overtime just trying to figure out what that stuff is. And so this applies, just this general concept applies when you talk about absorption. And so in the dosing research, doTERRA's whole essential oils are found to be absorbed better, 2 times more than synthetics. And so then within that research model, we have 2 more phases of research that are yet to be published. So these are coming as well. The 4th phase is delivery, which we're told is going to result in some new delivery models. So we'll see what that looks like. And then the 5th phase is efficacy. Very exciting. And so where I want to land is, what does this look like, or what does this feel like when all of this stuff actually gets put into practice? So we can now make these claims or say these big statements. Is it going to start showing up in our reality? And the answer is yes. And we've already seen some evidence of this earlier this year. So let me just take you back to Terra Shield and remind you how we used to have Terra Shield outdoor blend. And so what does that mean? What does outdoor blend mean? And we would find ourselves having to speak in kind of a code, you know, unless we're sitting down face to face talking with someone, we can explain. If we're in a mass media situation, then we're kind of crippled by needing to be compliant, and we have to be respectful toward the FDA. And so the best we were able to do previously was say outdoor blend. Use this for outdoor things, like if you go camping or take a hike or, you know, work in your garden, you might want to have this on your body to shield your skin from unwanted, you know, it just, that feels so cumbersome, doesn't it? How about then, how exciting was it when we came out with Terra Shield repellent blend? Oh my goodness. And right on the label, it says essential oil blend repels mosquitoes. Does that make sense? Is that something that you can understand? Oh, I'm going to pick this up and I'm going to spray it on my skin and it's going to repel mosquitoes. I'm not going to get as many mosquito bites if I spray this on my skin. So that is so entirely helpful. How does that come about? That comes about when you take the time over years to keep evolving your research and keep proving yourself and keep taking the results of that research to the powers that be. And so we've resulted in a Terra Shield repellent blend, repellent spray that is EPA endorsed, which allows us to make these claims. And so I've got one more brand new product for you that I'm so excited about. This is Doterra's Deep Blue Stick. And so it not only has our beloved deep blue, but it also features copaiba. So these 2 oils together are a powerhouse. And I used to have to say for things like discomfort, which I have a love-hate relationship with that word now, because if you mean discomfort and you say discomfort, then that's fine. But what you really mean is aches and pains, and you're just not allowed to ever say it. It gets so frustrating. So let me introduce you, this almost makes me want to cry, to our brand new topical analgesic. And guess what that means? It's a topical pain reliever. So we can actually say it. And so on the back, you're going to see this beautiful label. Oh, I'm sorry, that's a little fuzzy. Maybe you can read it a little bit. But it looks like exactly what you would want it to look like. And listen to this beautiful language. Uses for the temporary relief of minor aches and pains of muscles and joints associated with. I hope you're sitting down. Oh, this is so hard for me to read at a distance. I'm sorry. It's like microscopic. Simple backache, arthritis, sprains, strains, and bruises. So very specific things listed right on the packaging. So there's no gray area anymore. And at least with this product, we don't have to tiptoe around compliance because this is FDA approved. These claims are allowed to be said. They're made right on the tube, and we can repeat them in front of mass audiences. And that just feels like freedom to someone like me who's been teaching for years and having to find creative ways around these restrictions, always wanting to be respectful and compliant so my videos don't get pulled down off the internet. I'm trying to help as many people as I possibly can, but this really helps me help you be able to explain what our products are and what they do. And so let me tell you, more of this is coming. And so I'm so excited, and I just got to show you. So this top just screws off, and you've got this at the bottom. And oh, I am so impressed with this. And I just have to share briefly. If anyone's ever had a breathe stick that you didn't think was the highest quality, and if you have a breathe stick that breaks or it's not coming out of the tube properly, please send it back. Doterra is so good about replacing anything that's damaged in transit or just doesn't seem to be functioning properly. And I seem to have more issues with the breathe stick than any other Doterra product. But let me just tell you, I'm praying that this is going to be the new model for our breathe stick as well, because this works fabulously. Oh my goodness. And then just layer on top of that the fact that it's got deep blue rub quality, deep blue and copaiba in here, and it is absolutely mess free. So you can just roll this on your neck and shoulders. I put some on my low back just a little bit ago. I can still feel that cooling, warming, and I got nothing on my hands. And so that's so sweet for, just active people who are trying to go about the day, men who are just innocently trying to use the bathroom, or your student athletes who are maybe playing basketball or volleyball or football, a sport where they're going to be coming in and out of the game. And previously with the deep blue rub, they probably hesitated to apply mid-game because then they got it on their hands and not convenient to run to the bathroom and try to wash hands before you get put back in. So this just changes everything because even smaller than the deep blue rub, so really easy to have with you on those sidelines, make a quick application and be ready to go back in instantly. So there's just a few ideas. I've heard some people who have arthritis just rubbing it right on the tops of the hands or the fingers, whatever is bothering you, the knees, just apply it directly and enjoy. I cannot wait to hear the testimonies pouring in on these new products, especially my new deep blue stick friend. So I've talked longer than I meant to, but I'm so excited. And guys, these are only the first two products that I mentioned, but just try to rest on the foundation of our research. And as over the next couple of weeks, as I introduce more and more of the new products to you, just keep remembering that they're all grounded and based in this just epic foundation of research that supports and backs everything that we do. It's exciting to have all the new products, but way more so when you realize that they're grounded in a body of research that's just so monumental, profound, prolific, however you want to describe it. They're not just churning things out for the sake of having them. It's something that you can really be proud of and have great confidence in sharing with your family members, your friends, your loved ones, whoever it is that you know who might need one of these new products. I hope it just gives everyone an added layer of confidence in what we have here and what it can do for you. As always, if you're having questions, if you've got something specific coming up, reach out. I'm always happy to consult with you on a one-on-one basis. I can't wait to be here with you again next week. In the meantime, here's to your continued health and wellness. Be well. Take care.